Luke Shaw and Maguire went off on Sunday, whenever it was. Are they available for tomorrow?
Well, we're hoping so. We're working towards it. They weren't feeling too good, so we've still got a bit of time to the game, and we'll just have to see how they feel. So we'll obviously give them every chance.
I mean, is it kind of illness? Neither of them were injured or anything like that?
No, it wasn't injury, no. They just both of them weren't.
And we are live. Welcome back to the channel. It is Chosen Wisdom Football, the best Manchester United football channel on the YouTube. We are here for your usual pre-match press conference reaction. Yes, Michael Carrick has, of course, done his pre-match press conference, and we are going to watch it together. For a change, we're going to watch the press conference together, then we are going to react and discuss everything that Michael Carrick has said. We're going to have a look at the fixture. It is tomorrow, our game against Newcastle. We're away from home. I believe it is at St. James's Park. Newcastle United versus Manchester United. Wednesday evening is going to be a very difficult game, people. So Carrick's press conference, we're going to look ahead at the game. We're going to look at Newcastle's team, have a discussion about what to expect, look at our team as we always do, try to decide who will start, who will not start, what kind of game it will be, just the general and genuine stuff, guys. So big up everybody who's joined. We are now going to look on and watch Michael Carrick's press conference. So big up the chat, big up the community, big up everybody who's having a good day today, a good Tuesday. 2 games a week, guys. It's very, very weird, isn't it? Playing 2 games a week, playing on Sunday and then playing on Wednesday. Who would have known? Who would have known how weird it is to play 2 games a week? But here we go, guys. We are just going to watch the press conference and we are going to react to it together.
Luke Shaw and Maguire went off on Sunday, whenever it was. Are they available for tomorrow?
Well, we're hoping so. We're working towards it. They weren't feeling too good, so we've still got a bit of time to the game, and we'll just have to see how they feel. So we'll obviously give them every chance.
I mean, is it kind of illness? Neither of them were injured or anything like that?
No, it wasn't injury, no. They just both of them weren't feeling too good. So yeah, it's one of them things really, but we'll just have to see how they are today and tomorrow morning.
Just in terms of the form of the team, which has obviously been outstanding, when you were here with Ollie, obviously the team did very well, and then there was a drop off towards the end of the season, and when you were at Middlesbrough you also did really well at the start, and then the results didn't match that at the end of the season. You didn't achieve what you wanted to. Is there any way of guarding against that?
Football's a tough game to get results anyway, so I think yeah, of course they're learning. I learn, always learning, and things that as you go through, and you could maybe have done a little bit different, done a little bit better, not specifically at them times, just in general really. So yeah, there's a lot of context, and depends on the players, the group of players, what the games all look like. There's so many different things coming into it. I think it's not so much guarding against it. I think it's just living in the moment and staying in the moment, and keep grounded, and down to earth in terms of understanding what it takes to win games. And I've said that since I kind of came here, and not getting carried away. And we certainly won't get carried away. I think you got to feed off the confidence and understand that runs of wins are hard to come by, but we're hungry for more for sure, and we need to try and make it as long as it can last and stay consistent.
We've been talking about the drop off.
Sorry to take you back to a subject that's been hot this weekend, grappling inside the penalty area, Michael. Has it gone too far, and do you think anything can be done about it? What can be done?
I think it's gone too far, yeah. I think it wasn't long ago where, we were kind of told that you couldn't really lay a hand on anybody in the box, and it was going to be stamped kind of out and clamped down on. And it's crept in, it's gone stronger. I think obviously the success of set pieces, corners in particular, probably in terms of being able to
Arsenal.
Put so many bodies close together.
I know TK will talk to me about Arsenal. It's not Arsenal's fault, but you have to look at
more
Arsenal
teams do it because the success rate
is
is so high, So it's understandable why there's so many teams trying it and doing it. But yeah, in terms of as a game, and it doesn't feel that we've kind of got that balance right. So I don't know what is to do about it. It's not for me to decide that really, but. In the meantime, you got to deal with what's in front of you, and if it's allowed, then you got to play to it.
I'm so happy.
Just on the game itself,
it's pathetic the way it's gone.
You're obviously in confident mood now. You, the players,
it's
everything.
Pathetic. You can foul, grab someone like this, throw them on the ground, do all of these things in corners now, and never, ever, ever get the whistle blow. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, again, not looking too far ahead in terms of the games and where we're trying to get to. I think it's really important that we stay present and keep our minds on the job. It's an incredibly tough place to go to get a result. Newcastle, being there many times and know it well. So
because it's not even live.
We're fully aware of that.
It's fine now,
really,
but next time
we haven't had conversations
about
it.
We're not looking too far ahead.
We understand this is where we are. I think it was a good step for us at the weekend there. There'll obviously be a good boost that comes from that, whether that's energy-wise, whether that's confidence-wise, and just total belief from it. But it doesn't mean that we can start ifs and buts further down the line. I think we're in a good position, and we've kind of earned it. Boys have earned it, and we've got to try and make the most of it from now on in.
Michael, you now have the best form of any team in the league since you took over. Have you surprised yourself with what this team's achieved, given it's the same group of players that were here before?
I wouldn't use the word surprise. I think we always strive to win games, and as I've just said, understanding that it's difficult. But again, not looking too far ahead. I think if you stay, every game's winnable. I think both teams will come into it and think the same thing. If you can stay that and go step by step, try and be consistent with it, and then we feel we give ourselves a chance of doing that. I think it coming in at the start, it was quite quickly one game at a time.
One game at a time.
I think that's the only way, It's when you're in it and you live in it and you've got to perform, and the boys have got to be in a good frame of mind to be able to put performances together. I think the only way to do it and give yourself the best chance is to stay in the moment, and it's for everybody else to get
in the moment.
Involved in the discussions maybe of what ifs and buts and bigger picture type thing. It's not for us right now, and we're happy. We're happy with the way things have gone. Still think we can do certain things better, which is a really good place to come from, but winning games is a good feeling, a good habit to have, and got to keep staying hungry with that.
Yeah. There was so much discussion before you came in about sort of deep-rooted issues at the club and so on. When you've come in and you've worked with this group of players, did you see the signs in there that this run of form was possible?
What?
Again, I didn't get too far ahead in terms of what was possible.
Nobody thinks that way. Nobody says. Did you see that? It's a weird question to ask.
Into practice and try and be fair to the players, to give them the right information and the right balance to go into the next game was the first thing. But yeah, listen, I know some of the players. I know some of the players, or have done more than others. Now I've got to know everybody, and I think it's a really good group. I think they're talent-wise, ability-wise, I think the boys have showed that what they can do.
All of these loaded up questions
and
about
then there's that
given
balance
what you
of-
know about the
of
players and how bad they
good
were, and
habits,
all
good
these things. And
behaviours
Carrick is
and-
basically saying,
and
listen,
actually
I
looking after
didn't,
each other,
none of
and
that
there's
stuff
certain
mattered
things
to
you've
me.
got
I
to
just
really
came
dig
in
in
and
and
wanted
show
to
that
do the
good
best I
spirit and
could
team
do.
spirit.
That's
So I
all I
can't
was
speak
thinking
highly enough
about.
of the players at the moment.
I treated the players with respect rather than calling them the worst Man United side in history. I didn't destroy their confidence. I didn't ruin them the way that Amram kept coming out, ruining the players all the time. I just came in, filled them with confidence, and asked them to play the game. Could have paused it there. When I
Play
saw
behind him in that little pocket.
So I don't know what this question is there.
To be honest, there's not loads more I can add to what we've already talked about, Bruno. You know, he's
Yeah.
been here for such a long period of time now, and had success in different ways, and certainly individually shown exactly what he's all about. You know, and taking terms of responsibility, showing up, being there, facing everything for the ups and the downs, and that, I think that sums up Bruno as a character. You know, and his consistency over such a period of time. So in terms of where he ranks in club history, that's not for me to get involved in. And,
yeah, I'm glad,
irrelevant,
bro.
but I
this
think he's,
Bruno worship
he's had a
gets
been
on
a
my
major,
nerves,
major
bro.
plus
It's the
and
worst
fantastic,
time in United
signing
history.
for
We won the
when he
least
came
amount of
in
trophies, and
and the
we're
impact
playing
that
the
he's
worst
had since he's
football
been
in
here.
our history under
I'm sure that'll
Bruno,
continue.
under these last 4 years, and everyone keeps talking up Bruno like he's going to be a club legend and all these things. And bro, if we've literally won less things in the last 5 years than we've ever won in the last 15 with Bruno, why is he being spoken about like some absolute legend, bro? I mean, he probably will go down as one, but it's just I can't ever remove the Bruno love that the fan base gives him from the Paul Pogba hate. I think the two are attached and the two are forever linked. I think the hatred of Pogba from some fans caused the over love, the over appreciation for Bruno because they hated Pogba so much. So as soon as Bruno came, it was this worship of him. Within the first month, they were saying he was the best signing since Eric Cantona and all of these things after just 1 month. And I can't ever remove the link of the dislike of Pogba and some other players and the worship of Bruno. The link there, some of the people who absolutely love Bruno, some of them despise Pogba. And that will always be, and listen, I'll tell you guys my bias. That is my bias one of my biases against Bruno. It's not just Bruno himself, it's the fan base towards Bruno. I'm going to be very clear. But anyway, I feel like we're reaching the end of this press conference. We're just going to listen to the rest of it. The last two questions, except the Bruno question, which I'm not really interested in, the last two questions from my perspective were kind of similar. It was all about, did you think it was possible? Are you surprised of what's going on? And he's kind of responded by saying, listen, I didn't come in here with any expectations. To answer that question, it means I have to have an expectation. You're asking if I'm surprised, which means I need a base expectation in order for me to be surprised. But if he came in blank slate, no expectations, free mind, he just wants to do his best, nothing's going to surprise him because he has faith in his ability. So it's not surprising to him. So it's all the last two loaded questions to Carrick were very, very intriguing, guys. Very interesting because it kind of showed the narrative. It showed the narrative that the media are trying to push. And Carrick doesn't really do, as far as I'm concerned, he's not really into narratives. Carrick is placid the right word? I don't know if placid the right word. But it's so deadpan sometimes and emotionless often when he answers questions. Just flat. It's like, and not fully flat, not like, but you know what I'm saying? He doesn't buy into some of the stuff that they say to him. And I like that about Carrick. I like that. Let's just watch the rest of it, guys. Before we have another conversation, people. Big up the chat.
In tomorrow's game, Eddie Howe, British manager who's had great success. How much respect have you got for the job he's done?
Eddie
for recent
Howe.
years?
Yeah, huge amount of respect for Eddie and his staff. Know some of them particularly well, so and obviously being from there originally, and it's something that I've kept a close eye on. So he's done a great job.
I liked Eddie Howe. I'm not gonna lie.
That he's brought to that football club, and
About
the
3
feeling that
seasons
he's
ago,
created around the whole area.
I might have taken
is
Eddie Howe at
incredible.
United,
So,
guys.
yeah,
I
just
know
think
an
he's
English
a
manager.
top
I've said
manager,
to
top
myself,
coach, and,
an English manager will never
he'll
win the
continue
Premier
having
League
success, I'm sure.
because the English don't understand football. The English don't like
Cheers,
football.
guys.
The English have never been good at football, right? Let's be honest. The only reason why England are good at football now, and it's because of the foreign talent, it's because of Sackers and the other talent that's come into the country that are now wearing the England badge, right? And I've said to myself, an English manager will never win the Premier League. Not the Stoke, Sam Allardyce, 4-4-2, cross the ball in. No. And then Eddie Howe came around and I said, you know what? Eddie Howe, I like Eddie Howe. Over the last 2 or 3 seasons at Newcastle, you know, it's not always gone perfectly for Eddie Howe. But in general, I would say, I know this is not even off topic. Is Eddie Howe the best English coach? Is Eddie Howe not flaccid? That's it. Is Eddie Howe flaccid? Is Eddie Howe the best English coach right now? Big up TK in the chat as well. I think so, you know. Unless I'm wrong. Who's the best English coach right now, in anyone's opinions? Big up T Kizzle. Anyway, guys. Sorry, I just got distracted by somebody. So what we really got from the press conference for me, these are the takeaways for me. Shaw and Maguire may be out. We don't know if they're out or not. Carrick hasn't confirmed. He's basically saying wait and see. Usually when a manager says wait and see, it sometimes means they're going to be ready. But we don't know because he's been saying that it's not an injury. And we're told it's not an injury. It's an illness. Whether it's food poisoning, I don't know. But they're not feeling great and they might not be fit. So those are the 2 things. Shaw and Maguire potentially out. Guys, let me know what you're feeling about that. Secondly, I think importantly, people, he was asked about the drop-off. The camera's a bit low. It's lower than my face. And usually, guys, it's higher than that. But Carrick was asked about the drop-off. And we've spoken about the drop-off on this channel, guys. We've seen a decline in the performance levels. Results are still coming in, but the performance levels have dropped. And it's interesting that they mentioned that happened to him at Middlesbrough. When you speak to Middlesbrough fans, they said that he started well, amazingly, but after a while there was a drop-off. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, they compared him with Ole, and they mentioned the fact that with Ole, Ole started really, really well, but after a while there was a drop-off. So I'm happy that they mentioned the drop-off. It shows that the journalists, even though they're not football fans, many of them, and in my opinion, they don't always ask the right questions because they've got their agendas and they just want to write the headlines. While us fans, if you notice, the likes of Flex from the United View, and when other fan channels appear in press conference, they usually ask questions that fans are more interested in. So his answer to sort of the drop-off was essentially to say all teams are different. So the context will be different for all teams. So you can't tell you why there's a drop-off, which is very good. I think he sort of like maneuvered that one. To not get carried away and to treat every game with respect. I think that's something that is just obvious. And you're going to say, chosen common man. Everyone says treat every game as a cup final. Don't think too far ahead. Everyone says that. It's cliche. But if you're just in the moment, and I think that's what he mentioned later on in his press conference, be in the moment, be here, be present, understand what's happening right now, what's in front of you. Stop letting your brain wander. Just be present in the moment and fight right now. That was good. I like that. I like the fact he said that he could have and would have done things differently as well when he was asked about potential drop-off in his sides. So, very good answer there, in my opinion. This is it, guys. I've said this as well. The amount of grappling, the amount of fouling, pushing, tussling that is happening in the penalty box. Big up T Kizzles, man, in the chat, bro. I hope you're doing well, my guy. Looks like this me and you today, TK. But Tuesday is not an usual day that we do shows. So I will say Tuesday evening it's not usual. It's only because we have a show or we have a match on Wednesday, guys, is the reason why we are doing a show today, a pre-match show. But yeah, to talk about the grappling, and I know we've spoken about this a few times, and the way that football has gone, especially this season, and will continue to go, in my opinion, we're going to continue to talk about set pieces and what goes on at set pieces. We spoke about this the other day. I think TK in the chat, well, I mentioned Arsenal as one of the factors that are, in my opinion, attributing to the fact that we are allowed to foul. We are technically allowed to foul in the box now at set pieces. And because set pieces are, and this is what Carrick also said, set pieces have become so important in scoring goals because the teams are just cancelling each other out, low blocks, there's no room to score goals, it's defending is tight. So set pieces have become so important, right, that people are doing the most in the boxes now to score. And because we now rely on them to score, referees, VAR, they've allowed certain things to happen. And when you don't nip things in the bud, the snowball effect. So the first push, right, at a set piece, the first foul that VAR and the referee allowed to happen, then the next week the same thing happened, they allowed it because the last week it happened. So if you push someone this week and you score a header and the referee allows it, everyone sees that, everyone takes a snapshot of that. Then next week you push someone again, header. The referee can't blow this time around because last week you gave it last week. So they pushed the goalpost further. Okay, cool. Let me now put my arm around someone's neck like that at a corner and throw them to the ground and then header it in. Cool. Grab someone around the neck, throw them to the ground, header it in. Let me look at the ref. Is ref going to blow a whistle for a foul? Oh, he didn't. Oh, cool. Next week, I'm going to up the ante. I'm going to do that. I mean, I'm saying it in the most basic way, but that's kind of what happened. It's, how did we get here? How did we get to point Z? Because we started off, you cannot even touch goalkeepers. That's how we started. And now you can throw them on the ground. So it had to be incremental steps, in my opinion, right under our nose. So Carrick's response, in my opinion, was, I keep saying in my opinion, I don't need to keep saying that because it's already my opinion. But Carrick's response was very good. He spoke about the fact that you can't lay a hand on goalkeepers. You couldn't lay a hand on goalkeepers. If you push the goalkeeper, if you even did this to the goalkeeper, just doing that to the goalkeeper off the ball, foul. Just 5 years ago. Now, I reckon I can probably shoot a goalkeeper. I can shoot him with a bow and arrow. And the referee will be like, oh, no foul. There's an arrow sticking out of his head. There's an arrow sticking out of his head. Nothing to see here. So I like the fact that Carrick was like, cool. I remember when you couldn't even lay a hand on a goalkeeper. Set pieces have become very, very important now in this modern game where it's all about athleticism. The technical footballers are getting squeezed out. As we all know, football is shit right now. Let's be honest. The game that we play, I try to play as an old man, but the game that we watch is absolutely dog shit. We've gone from watching Messi's, Ronaldinho's and Zidane's and R9's just party and just play beautiful football to watch 11 athletes run up and down the pitch with no tech, right? That's what we're watching, guys. So the game's really gone anyway, and set pieces are become more important because we're just cancelling each other out. We're just having 11 cross runners against 11 cross runners. Who are you going to score? So that was very, very interesting. And Carrick confirmed that it's getting out of hand. And that is what I think. I am annoyed by set pieces and by the referees not giving certain things at set pieces. And Carrick said it's getting out of hand. He believes it is getting out of hand. The balance, these are his words, the balance isn't right between the attacking and defending. The balance isn't right. And I'm so happy now Because you know when you sit here and you think you're being gaslit. I sit here and I watch the game with all of you guys. We sit here and we watch the game together and we're like, hold on a second. Why is this allowed at set pieces all of a sudden? You got man just holding on to man like this. And I'm like, bro, people are not scared, yeah, that they're going to concede penalties anymore at set pieces. They're not frightened. They're not. So how do we guys put the cat back in, is it a phrase? Back in the bag? How do we reverse this? I don't think we can do it this season. I think the referees, the FA need to sit down at the end of the season and then do what they usually do, send a message to all the football clubs in the Premier League and says, starting from next season, we are going to be looking a lot closer to how people grapple in the box and hold each other in the box. And if we deem there is a foul, have a standard. Say you cannot, use your two hands and put your arms around somebody. If you do that, you're going to concede a penalty. Just mark them. Don't hold them. Just mark them. We just need a clear standard and then implement this new standard at the start of next season. That's what we need to do, a reset. And it will be a culture shock. The first couple of weeks, guys, the referee's going to be like, penalty, penalty. But I assure you, in about 2-3 weeks' time, when everyone gets the fucking message, people are going to stop fouling. Because the referees are going to hold everything and everyone to account. That is what I believe. Let me know, as usual, guys, your opinion on this matter. But believe you me, this shit ain't going nowhere. Just like a lot of things, it's going to keep resurfacing, guys. TK is talking about the Wenger's offside rule being implemented. So Turkish talking about Wenger's offside rule being trialed in the Canadian Premier League. TK, I want to know your opinion on that one as well, TK. Big up TK was in the chat, people. One of the daddies of the chat. Big up Atro as well. I see Atro in the chat. Big up Atro, my guy. TK's a daddy of the chat, you know, that's jokes. With a bow and arrow. Go on. Also, guys, look on your screen. I think I put it up. The Newcastle squad are suffering from a virus. Bro, who's cooking that food? We must share chefs. Luke Shaw sent his personal chef to Newcastle. That's what happened. TK says he doesn't follow the Canadian. TK. T-Kizzles, man. I don't follow the Canadian Garbage League. Even MLS is a difficult show. Fair enough, TK. Facts chosen. The quality is so poor. People telling me Bruno is world class. He couldn't bench the likes of Busquets and Xavi. Yeah, it's different. Actually, the problem is there's two ways to look at Atro. There are people like me and you who hold a certain standard of what world class was. We remember the quality back then. And so when we hear about certain people now, we're like, really? But then again, if you compare Bruno to what's around, what's available right now, and you had to create a world class category, he might be in it, bro. Because the quality is so lower now. The quality is so much lower now. So it's like, relativity is always the idea. It's relative. Is being world class a relative description, or is it an absolute description? I.e., because there's not a lot of good players right now, and Bruno's one of them. Is Bruno world class? I.e., being world class is relative, yeah, or is it an absolute objective, or is it an absolute fact? Is it objective? Yeah, is it objective? Is it? You have to possess these things, be able to cross the ball really well, blah, 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 have these attributes, and then I think you're world class, regardless of who's available, the quality of the footballers today. But then if it's just objective, then you might get an era of football where nobody's actually world class. And all the 5-year-olds who are just worshipping all these players, they're like, this player's world class. And you as a grown 50-year-old man, you're like, they're not world class. They're not Maradona. They're not that. And then, no, he has to be because he's the best footballer in the world. And you're like, well, technically, he's the best footballer in the world, but the quality of footballers right now are crap. So does that make him world class? I don't know, guys. I don't know. This is how my brain works, man. Is what it is. Cat back into the box. That's it. Or bag, one of the two. Does the EPL, yeah, actual, you got it. Does the EPL have a yearly review on the rules and game overall? NFL gets together to listen to new rules and ideas. If they like something, they introduce it at the youth level to see results first, says T Kizzles. TK is back, baby. I don't know if they have a formal process, TK, but I know that every season every season there's always something that changes, right? There has to be updates in rules, in laws, and every season the referee, the FA will always send the Premier League a note of what's to change, what the rules are. Last season, don't forget, we had the whole interview at halftime with a player, or cameras in the changing rooms, or what is it? And what's the other thing you could choose? You could choose like about 3 or 4 things that you could choose at halftime. Cameras in the change rooms at halftime, interview with a player at halftime, all these things that they introduced, right? So every year they introduce something new, guys. And there you go, guys. I've just asked AI. The Premier League holds regular, often annual reviews of its rules, including financial, operational, and on-field regulations to implement improvements. So that's it. T Kizzles for shizzles. Cat in the pillow bag. That's it. Cat in the pillow bag, baby. Atro says, all I know is Arsenal are cooked. The NFL rodeo stops. Arsenal are cooked, bro. Listen, that is the main way Arsenal have scored. Arsenal score from set pieces themselves, or own goals score from set pieces. A lot of Arsenal's goals have come from set pieces, and I've seen them. I've looked at some of these goals. We were watching Arsenal versus Tottenham, bro. We saw Declan Rice. Who was it he was holding? He was holding a player, and he handballed it. Nothing was given. So it is what it is. They better not pass it on to the United players. Bro, Shaw and Maguire probably have the same sickness, Atro. They probably have the same sickness. Yeah, I heard that in terms of categorizing Bruno today. The issue is I'm hearing Bruno is one of the best all-timers and world-class of all time. I'm like, you haven't watched football before. Atro, I'm not gonna lie, yeah. That stuff will frustrate me. With the way that my brain works, to hear certain people being put into certain categories and into certain conversations that they don't belong in, while other players are treated a certain way, my brain is a very justice-orientated brain, bro. I don't like to see what I see as injustice. I like even playing fields. I like people being treated the same. I like all of these things, and my brain pattern spots is very good at spotting patterns, right? I have a very autistic brain. So when I see a variable that's changed, it sticks out like a sore thumb in my brain, and it frustrates me. I'll be real with my chat. So there's certain things, yeah, that you guys will be able to tell how I speak, yeah. There'll be certain things that you guys can tell will frustrate me, bro. And that is one of these things. And there's nothing I can do about it. It's just my brain, bro. Like, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I like Bruno. I don't dislike Bruno. My beef is, I know what Bruno is. My beef is the fact that I feel like Bruno is one of those players, yeah, who can play crap season after season. Last season, yeah, Bruno was absolutely abysmal. In that double pivot for Amorim, this season as well, he wasn't good. In that double pivot under Amorim. The last season, he wasn't good. And I feel like he's one of those players where the whole team can be bad. The whole team can finish 15th. We were poor, finishing 15th. He was the captain. And all the negativity, none of it goes to him. It washes off him. But as soon as Bruno scores a goal or get an assist, he's worshipped again. When it's negative, the negativity doesn't stick on him. But the positivity is stuck to him like glue. So we can go 2 seasons in the wilderness as a football club with him as our captain. and it doesn't matter. But the minute he scores a goal, Bruno, I don't know, guys. Maybe I'm just going over the top a little bit. Maybe I'm going a bit over the top. Let me know, guys, if I am, if you disagree. Because only you guys can tell me if I'm going over the top. Because you guys control the chat. It's your chat at the end of the day. Given that Wenger offside thing, we'd have won 5-0 against Manchester. Why am I finding that so funny, bro? That's killed me, bro. It's so dumb. It's so silly. Why has that killed me? Manchester. I don't know why it's making me laugh. Oh, man. It's dumb, but it's funny. Manchester. That's good. That's good. Well done. Well done. I like that. I like it. I'm gonna have to adopt that, Manchester. Why is it sweeting me? It's sweeting me. It's hit me in a nice spot, It's hit me in a nice spot. I can't even lie. All right, what we saying about the teams, though, guys? The match is tomorrow, guys. What we saying about the team that starts? We got no Maguire and we got no Luke Shaw. So you guys are gonna tell me something. Also, the title of the thumbnail is 19 points from 21. I'm seeing online Manchester United be pushing a 23 points out of a possible 9. And it was confusing me, guys. Let me tell you something. The Man United Twitter account and all these things were posting Michael Carrick has had the best start out of any manager, period. And he's got 23 points from a possible 9. And it was confusing as hell, guys. I was thinking to myself, 9 games? Where the fuck did Michael Carrick play these extra 2 games? Where are these extra 2 games that I've not seen? He started at Man City, and now we're here. That's 7 games. And I'm just sitting there thinking, oh, am I stupid? Am I not getting the maths right? Where's these 9 games, 23 points? I'm like, are they really trying to include the 2 games he played when he was interim manager 2 years ago? Are they trying to include those 2 games in the current stats of Michael Carrick now? Then I'm like, oh yeah, they are. They're saying the best win, whatever, the best manager for the first 9 games ever, and they're including the 2 games he took over in 2002. Is it? I think. And I'm like, what? Are they really doing that? I'm like, this is what I say about propaganda, right? This is my thing about PR people. 1 second, guys. Michael Carrick doesn't need fake PR. We have 19 points from a possible 21. 6 wins and 1 draw from a possible 7. Absolutely amazing. We don't actually need to add in all this. Let's add in the 2 games he played 3 years ago. We don't need to do all that fake crap, bro. He's good on his own. The propaganda he's getting authentically by just winning games is good enough, guys. We don't need to be like, by the way, finding these little quirky achievements. He's scored in every 23rd minute of the 5th game, and we don't need to be doing that, guys. Because when you start doing stuff like that, it makes me feel like, oh, you're trying to brainwash the fans. You're trying to manipulate the fans, and we don't need to be manipulated. We can see that he's doing a good job. We don't need that dumb PR, and that's all I'm going to say about it. So 19 points from a possible 21, potentially no Harry Maguire, and potentially no Luke Shaw against the Newcastle side, guys, at home. We don't historically do that well against Newcastle. We don't. And just straight off, guys, I'm not going to lie. I think this might be a game, once again, that Sesko doesn't start. He might not start Sesko in this game. He might not. We literally conceded from their best player own goal when we beat them 3-2. Oliver Gardner. Yeah. Because half the team jumps offside or full starts and the refs can't call 7 fouls at once. I mean, that's a good true. That's true. But then there's VAR. There's VAR. Oh, American football. The NFL owners vote on it. It has to be someone like 75% of the change. Yeah. There's certain things that the Premier League teams can vote on, and there's certain things that the FA will be like, these are the new rules. These are the new rules, and they're being implemented. I don't know the difference between what you can vote on and what you're being dictated. I don't know. If I'm being honest, guys. Yeah, Manchiti was good. Yeah, Manchiti. I think Euro and Heaven. Yeah, I've got them up already, guys. So we've got Euro, Heaven. I'll say Mazraoui. I feel like it's just not that difficult, guys. Can we say, yeah, that's what Atro says. Atro says we don't have another Maz on the side of them. So, guys, we got to make our mind up, guys. Are we going to do a Mazraoui on the right and then move Dallo to the left? Or are we going to leave Dallo where he is and move Mazraoui on the left? I think Mazraoui can play left back. Didn't Mazraoui, guys, play left back for Morocco? Isn't that where he played, literally? Am I wrong in saying that in the AFCON recently, just now, Mazraoui played left back? No? No? No. Let me see. Yeah, Mazraoui. So cool, guys. Can we agree then we're gonna do Mazraoui, or Carrick should do Mazraoui left back? Leave Dallo the right back. Why not, guys? Why not? And really truly, we got no Maguire potentially, and we know we don't have Martinez. So I think the centre back pair, like Acho says, kind of picks itself. Heaven and Euro, which means I know some people are going to be nervous. I know some people think that these two, Euro and Heaven, have not played together before. I don't think. Not 90 minutes. We have always paired one of these youngsters up with someone more mature. It's a De Ligt with Euro, a De Ligt with Heaven, a Maguire with Euro, a Maguire with Heaven. You get the picture. Euro and Heaven. Let's see. I just wish them the best of luck. It's your time, youngsters. It's your time. So that's what I think. I think the midfield too picks itself as well. The only decision we need to make is, now that we're playing against a Newcastle team that will defend well and robustly, I think, I'm not gonna lie, I like Sesko, but I think we missed Ahmad in the last game. We missed the fact that Ahmad keeps that width usually. Of course, he does cut inside and get involved in the play when he needs to, but he can hold that width. And I wouldn't mind, even though I have criticized it, even though Brian Mbeumo doesn't hold the ball up that well and all of these things, because of the intensity that these three up front bring off the ball, that's why Sesko doesn't start. We saw that Sesko off the ball is not running around and closing the defenders, closing down the passing lanes and trying to trap the ball and counter pressing. Sesko's not doing that, right? And I feel like against a team like Newcastle that is hell of physical, I wouldn't mind starting like this and then bringing on Benjamin Sesko for half an hour, taking off Mbeumo or Ahmad at the 60th minute, and then bringing on Benjamin and letting Benjamin play half an hour to see if he can score a header. That's what I say. I know some of you guys might disagree, but that's what I'm thinking. Atro says, yeah, they are doing the shameless thing, but I don't mind. He was unbeaten before and has continued it now. That's Atro talking about the Carrick stats that Man United are pushing. He's saying they're doing the shameless thing, but at the end of the day, he's our manager. And if it makes him look better, then it is what it is. I get that. I hear that, Atro. I don't know if Euro and Dallo can hold Gordon. Gordon has played well recently in the Champions League. But in the Premier League, he's had 1 or 2 games recently where he's not been on it. But just because he's not been on it, it doesn't mean he can't do a thing. And unfortunately, we've seen Lenny Euro get dragged out. Can we just confirm that when Lenny Euro gets dragged out wide, he doesn't look the most comfortable? That's all I'm going to say. When Lenny Euro is dragged out wide. And Gordon on our right-hand side, Newcastle's left, against Dalot and Lenny Euro. I see what TK is saying there. Gordon cutting back on his right foot, trying to cut inside and shoot. Dalot and Euro have to force him down the outside, guys. You have to show him down his left. So they're going to have to be smart. Casemiro on that side as well. Going to have to be smart. So we'll see, guys. We'll see. Yeah, Maz played left back for Morocco. Because Hakimi played right back. I guess Hakimi's that guy, bro. If Hakimi's playing right back, I'm sorry, bro. You ain't getting ahead of Hakimi. Chill the fuck out and play left back. You know them ones. Luke Shaw played centre forward at the McDonald's counter last year. Oh man, Luke Shizzle. Luke Shaw will always get it. I think Newcastle is a counter-attack game. Yeah, that's why I said, you know what? Brian and Bumo actually might do decently in this game. You know? But me personally, I'm playing Xerxes and telling him to do a false 9. Then Cunha and Bumo and Ahmad, whoever. Tech man are needed as we are not physical. Bro, I think me and you see football very similar in terms of tech and how we want football to be played on the ground, saucy, one-touch football. That's the kind of stuff you want to see. Hence why I've always said, and as soon as we got Cunha and Bumo, my mind was like, I can't wait. We have 50 games, maybe less because, you know, we're out of the cups and there's only 38 games in the Premier League, right? So we might have less than 50 games. But I thought this is enough games for us to at least see one time, Xerxes, Cunha, and Bumo and Ahmad. Just one time. And we still have not seen that yet. And we've got, 8 games to go. And I doubt we're going to see it. And it will frustrate me because in my mind, it's always going to be the what if. Because we haven't seen it, we don't know if it works or not. So it's just there. Some low-hanging fruit that we'll never, ever catch. You know them ones where Xerxes will leave in the summer, maybe. I don't think he should because once we're in the Champions League again and we're playing 60 games a season, we're going to need Xerxes. We're going to need him. So I think he might leave, but I don't want him to. But with Xerxes, it's always going to be what if? Because when he plays well, when he's on form, when he came on against the last game for 10 minutes, his touches, bro. Some of his touches were crazy. And it just makes you feel like, imagine someone was brave enough to, because we've seen what he could do, for Ten Hag. Was it Ten Hag? And Amram. We've seen what he can do. There's a point where before he got injured, before the Tottenham Europa League final, guys, before Xerxes got injured, he was a player on form. We loved him. He was scoring goals. He got injured, and we were begging for him to come back for the Tottenham game. And he just about managed to get back for the Tottenham game. That was last season. Now all of a sudden he can't play a game anymore. Like, I don't like it when players like a Kobe Mainoo go from playing every game to apparently not being good enough to play ever. Huh? What? And now he's playing again every game. So, what? I feel like Xerxes is one of those guys where it will be so cool to see what he's fully like, what Xerxes' football is like once he gets 3 games starting back to back to back playing 9. What kind of football he could play with his team. Just blink. And we will never really know. We will never get to know this. And that is, the unknown and something that you'll never know. Something that you believe in. You think this guy could do something, but you'll never get the chance to prove it. That stuff will always frustrate me. Because I know every other footballer is getting... Seska will be given 100 chances. Ahmad will be given 100 chances. All these other players I know will be given 100 chances to play. It is what it is anyway. But I hear you, Atro. I hear you. I personally like Xerx, but I don't think I'd play Xerxes in this game, I don't think I'd play Xerxes. I think I'll start Mbumo. I think I'll start Mbumo over Xerxes in this game. And you guys know me. I literally just spent 2 minutes waxing lyrical over Xerxes. So it's not even... Yeah, it is what it is. Depends though, because Howe has been playing Gordon as centre forward with Voldemort in the 10. He has done that a few times, Atro. And the reason why he's done that is speed on the break, counter-attacking, right? So are we saying, what are we expecting? Because Newcastle are at home, people. Are we thinking Newcastle are going to do counter-attacking themselves at home? TK says, hopefully Newcastle will want to play a skill versus skill game that favours us 100%. The physical stuff we can do, but the midfield of Kobe and Casemiro, they prefer a more... they're not... I keep saying this. Kobe, Casemiro, they can do 10-yard bursts either way. 10 yards, 20-yard bursts. But this expansive game that Arsenal do when they do man for man and Declan Rice is sprinting 40, 50 yards back, Kobe and Casemiro ain't doing none of that shit. So Kobe and Casemiro play best when they're playing compact. Compactizzles. That's when these two look good. When they're, I always say this, when they're holding hands 10 yards away from each other, they're fine. They're fine. But Newcastle's midfield, Newcastle are going to want to... I hope TK is a skill versus skill thing. But the last few games, West Ham, Everton, it's been a dash man on the ground. Let's fight. Let's Royal Rumble thing. So against Newcastle, I'm not going to lie, guys, I'm expecting a Royal Rumble thing. I'm expecting clotheslines, suplexes, arm bars, an arm bar, ankle lock. Ankle lock. Imagine doing an ankle lock and flipping it on a football pitch. That's stupid. Curb stomps, spears, RKOs. Anyway, I know we lost 4-1 against them last season at St. James Park, but the best passage of play came from Xerxes until he got injured. That broke me last season. I know, right? Especially after Ahmad's injury. Question for the chat. If you were in the presser and could ask Carrick a question, what you asking? TK's always coming up with these interesting questions, bro. What am I asking? Oh, man, TK, you're asking me to think, bro. Ask me to use my brain. Atro says, we have seen what he can do for both managers. True. I'm asking sausage or wiener. Sausage or wiener? I'm asking Frankfurter or sausage. Frankfurter or sausage, bro? A full-on sausage or Frankfurter? What are you taking? I'm asking if he's beef patty or chicken patty. You know? That will listen, that will expose him. That will expose him. Anyway, Waldemain is out tomorrow. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I don't know who's sick and who is not, but I know a few of the Newcastle guys are sick. Let's see, actually. Let me see. Let's quickly. There's something on my screen right now. Hold on 1 second, guys. Crucial. Man United have been thrown in disarray after sickness. Blah 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 blah. Preparations. Oh, Walter Maid is a major doubt. Jacob Ramsey might be back. He trained, but who knows? Livramento still out. Who else is out? Bruno Guimaraes, of course, has been out. Hamstring. Saar is out. Bro, let's kill this team. All I'm seeing is out. No, let's get this. Let's get these guys. Let's get them. Bro, dogs, let's get them. Play Ahmad, play Mbumo, play Cunha, and play Bruno. What Rottweilers? Let's get them. All I'm seeing is SARS out. No Bruno Guimaraes. No Walter Maid. Whatever you want to pronounce his name. It will struggle with that guy's name. I'm here. I like this. I like the sound of this. Like I said, you got Luke Shaw's, you know. Luke Shaw's chef is cooking up Newcastle food. Yeah, you're right, TK. They could well play counter-attacking football. I feel like they have to now. Now that I'm seeing all these players are out, I'm feeling like, of course, this is the thing about counter-attacking football. You don't really want to give the ball away to the other team just so you could sit deep and bring the pressure onto yourself just so you can counter-attack. That's counter. But some teams do that. Some teams give the ball away just so the other team can get it, so they can drop back into shape and counter-attack, because they know counter-attacking football is one of the easiest way to score. I can see Newcastle doing a counter-attacking football at home against us. But then you think, surely, guys, they're the home team. They're going to have to come out and play. You're going to see them with their high line. You're going to see them with their defense at the halfway line. No, surely, guys. No. Cool. Let me see what Atro's saying. If Walter Maid plays, Harry better be available. Figure four. Man, figure four leg lock. Ain't gonna lie, yeah. Figure four leg locks, yeah. There were some stupid wrestling moves that we used to do in school, and we used to do on each other because we didn't think it hurt. And I remember, doing a figure four, properly doing a figure four on somebody. My lord, bro. The bad guy was like, because I think it hurts your shin more than anything, yeah. And I was like, bro, why are you screaming? This guy it hurts. I'm like, bro, I never knew. If you look in the figure four properly, yeah, that shit hurts. I remember in school, was it in year when I was about 13, yeah? When I was about 13, somebody got pedigreed on the concrete floor in my school. We were crazy as kids, bro, when it comes to wrestling. We were doing every wrestling move in the playground on concrete. His name was Alex. I shouldn't even say his name out loud. Alex in my school, bro. Literally, head between the legs, pedigreed on the concrete, bust open his head, bro. My gosh. Crazy. The reason why I'm saying Xerxes is because of the physicality. Yeah, you're right, you know. Thinking about Xerxes, yeah. The reason why, listen, I can say that Carrick might not start Sesko because Sesko doesn't give that intensity off and on the ball. He's not an intense runner. He's not intense, right? But I don't really care about intensity if you can play saucy football and keep the ball, right? And Xerxes, we have to keep it 100, guys. You know I like Xerxes, but on this channel, I try to be impartial and I try to be honest. Xerxes doesn't give you intensity off the ball, but he gives you a presence. He gives you strength and he gives you physicality. Because one thing about Xerxes that's changed from a year and a half ago, he doesn't get bullied by defenders anymore. Not really. He's present. He's got more of a presence about him than Sesko does, Xerxes. He holds the ball up well. But Xerxes, if I'm going to say let's not play Sesko because he doesn't have the intensity, then I'm going to be the same as Xerxes and say Xerxes is not the most intense forward. I think we can all agree on that. The chat is in anarchy. Don't be greedy. Oh, what am I missing? If figure 4 leg lock. The reason why I'm saying Xerxes. Oh, I'd ask him titties or booty. That's a good question. That's a good question, actually. I think the answer to that question will make me Carrick in or Carrick out. The titties or booties question is a Carrick in, Carrick out question. Because if he answers that wrong, then I'm going to be Carrick out. I'm going to have to be. Who in 2026 is saying titties? Who's that crazy to pick titties over booty? Who's doing that in 2026, guys? It's blasphemous to pick titties over booty. Like if you're doing that, you get sent to the gulag, or you get banned from the channel. If you, I'm kidding, guys. You gotta have some fun, man. Why not? Oh, we're gonna do a poll. TK, you know. Oh no, this is a test. This is crazy. The chat has lost all control. I gave TK mod privilege for 1 day because he couldn't because he couldn't send messages, and I forgot to remove the mod status. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, we got 3 mods now. The channel's not that big, so we only need 2. But we're gonna do this poll, and the answer to the poll will determine your life trajectory from now on. It will determine your career trajectory, and it will show me what you're like as a human being. It will show me what sort of human you are. It will show me your morals. I'm gonna take from this so much, you know. I'm gonna take from this so much. That's funny. Is a poll coming? Let me see. Is there a poll coming? There is a poll coming, guys. I can't believe we're gonna do this, guys. You guys are foolish. Absolutely fools, my chat. But my chat is also quite amazing. There you go. You win. You put both. Someone's giving you the option of both. That's indecisiveness. That's fence sitting. Absolute fence sitting, bro. Both. Flipping heck, bro. Get out of there. Both, you know. Greedy. I'm sorry, guys. Hey. Oh, man. No. We can have TK and... Yeah. No, not you, TK. We're not going to remove your mod privilege. Mod privileges. That's like asking strawberries or vanilla or both. Oh, strawberries or vanilla or both. Both. Yeah, you're right. That's true. I don't know. It is what it is. What's the? I'm gonna wait a couple more minutes, guys, before we end the stream. 8:30, an hour. Nice stream. Good conversation. This is what it's about, guys. Let's not, you know, as long as it's respectful. Let's have conversations about anything. You know. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm thinking of one or the other. I think the both option is a full cop out, guys. I ain't gonna lie. Both is a full cop out, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm surprised no one. Man, no one's choosing no titty, man. We can do titty. Alright, let's cut it. Let's cut it. I need to relax, man. It's a football channel. You know, sometimes you can just go down this hole and flip it neck. Oh, Sausage Express. There you go. Man like sausage. Big up sausage though. He offered. And that's a good guy right there. You know when you're gonna have more policing, because mods are kind of police officers. And you don't want more police officers than People. You don't want more police officers than people to police. Cheaty titties. All right, guys. All right, so what we're saying, quickly, predictions. Everyone dash in your predictions in the chat. Oh, man. Newcastle got players out. Man United are in a good form. We're in good form, but we're not actually playing well. Is this the game that because against Aston Villa, when they scored first, no, sorry, Crystal Palace, when they scored first, I was thinking this is going to be the game we finally lose. But then we came back. We got that determination about us. That's one thing that we have. When we're not playing well, we're beginning to know what it's like to keep winning. When you win all the time, when you don't win, that feeling is so butters that you're gonna do everything you can to win. And I feel like this team is beginning to have some sort of no die attitude. Like we're finding a way to score goals. Against West Ham, we should have lost the game. No. Against West Ham, we should have won the game based on the chances we had, but we scored, I think, towards the end. Sesko. And I feel like we're not playing good football, but there's a spirit within us now that when we concede, we're like, all right, you're gonna score against us? You're gonna score against us? All right, we'll show you. That's kind of how I feel United are. So I feel like worst case scenario, we don't lose the worst case scenario. I think the worst case scenario, we draw this game away from home against Newcastle. So I'm going to stick my neck up, and I'm going to say 2-1. I'm going to say 2-1 to Manchester United. And it could easily be 2-0 and they scored a goal within the last 10 minutes. It could be something like that. I don't know, guys. I'm saying 2-1. Turkish says 4-1 United. Maybe I should remove Turkish's mod privileges. That's crazy. I'm a dirty police. If you don't score early, it's 1-0 settings for United. Oh, it's actually one of those dead, boring 1-0s where both teams are going to stink it out, like the previous game, where it's going to be hella physical and we can't string more than 5 passes together. I hope it's not one of those games, guys. What? Sausage? Bro. 5-1 Man United? I guess with all those players out, I hear that. TK says we are winning a close grudge match 2-0. I'm predicting a penalty kick. I ain't gonna lie, yeah, when it comes to predictions, I focus on TK. TK's got a crystal ball in his back pocket and he pulls it out when it comes to this time. When it comes to these sort of times, he pulls it out. All right, so everyone thinks we are going to beat Newcastle, guys. Tune in. The game is, I think, 8 p.m. 8:15 kickoffs. So we will be live 15 minutes early, 8 o'clock, as I'll say as usual, but this is not a usual time for a game, so I can't say as usual. So yeah, so we'll be live 8 o'clock for the 8:15. What's this? Michael Carrick on Ugarte? All right, guys, why is this up on my screen? Oh, this is not news, right? Okay, shame. Hold a second, but I don't think have I ever seen or heard Michael Carrick talk about Ugarte before? He's asked why he doesn't play him. So this is what's Michael Carrick's response. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I don't see Ugarte having a future here. Like I said, he's played 19 minutes. I want to say this quickly. Very, very quickly, guys. We went from Kobe Mainu being told that he cannot play with Bruno Fernandes. He essentially can't play football, right? And we had Casemiro being subbed off for 60 minutes or at the 60-minute mark every fucking game because he can't play 90 minutes. We've gone from that scenario, and that was all told to us by Amorim. This is why it's so important when the guy at the top, whether it's a politician, whether it's the king, whoever has all the power and is controlling the way your brain thinks. He's controlling the narrative. He's giving you choices that don't actually exist. He's making you choose Bruno or Kobe. Bro, no one asked you to do the Bruno versus Kobe thing. You're forcing us to choose between 2 players. Why have you done this? Right? I hate shit like that. Right? So it's interesting now that Carrick hasn't played Ugarte at all. And that same Casemiro that couldn't play 90 minutes of football is all of a sudden playing 90 minutes after 90 minutes after 90 minutes. I thought he couldn't do it. I thought he couldn't do it. I thought Kobe couldn't play. Be careful who you listen to and what you buy into. It's easy to buy into a narrative without any evidence because the guy at the top is just saying so. I always talk about critical thinking and how it's important for us to continue using our own minds. It's very important. Ugarte, in my opinion, doesn't have a future here. And the fact that two players, Casemiro and Kobe Mainoo, who couldn't even play 90 minutes, one of them couldn't even get on the pitch, are both playing ahead of him. And he's not even coming on for the last 10 minutes of games, Ugarte. We're not even seeing him. I think that's a big thing. We're seeing Xerxes come on for 10, 15 minutes every now and again. We're not seeing Ugarte. Anyway, guys, that was decent. Good show. Good match preview show, actually. It was one of the most fun I've had. The chat was absolutely banging, bro. Like, sick. The chat was sick, bro. Like, I've had a long day. I've come in to do the show. I'm still dressed in my outside clothes, and the chat was just popping, bro. You man are sick. So big up the chat. Big up the community. As long as the chat's like this, just nice and vibing. Tomorrow we win. The feeling's good. The vibe is nice. We're just cracking jokes, just chilling out. Boom. Sick vibes. So big up the chat. The MVP is Dave for the poll of the month. Dave for the poll of the month. Well done, Dave. Let me see if the balloons can appear. No, nothing appears. 2 thumbs up. There you go. That's what happens when 2 thumbs up on camera. Big up, everybody. And we will be back 8 o'clock tomorrow. Enjoy your evening, and I'll see you.